Hello my friends, and welcome back to your daily dose of Broodwar. We've got Stork over here in the bottom right and Shine down in the bottom left. This is going to be a little series between Stork and Shine that came from 2023 and was sent to me by Dude Nerd, so shout out to him. Both of these players are legends of old. The dinosaur Protoss down here has quite the story behind him, guys. If you don't know, he was the king of silver for a long time in the Kespa era. Had a very hard time getting himself a championship, but he was incredibly good back in the day. It just took him a very long time to get a championship, but he did finally get one. He's been a coach, he's been a player. I believe he did League of Legends coaching as well. Kind of similar to Fantasy in that regard. But he's sort of back, you know, he puts on some good games here and there. I wouldn't say that he is at the top of the food, the food pyramid. No, at the top of the food chain. Food pyramid, what am I saying? He's not the top of the food chain right now, but he's had his moments in the past. And Shine, on the other hand, it's too bad we haven't seen him get deep into another ASL. It feels like he's kind of given up on his earlier success, which was from those really cheesy builds. I know that he's kind of evolved and grown from that time. He used to be just all about the cheese. Every single game was a wacky, cheesy build, and it brought him a lot of success, and then he really dug deep and found his macro engine. Became a really strong macro Zerg player, but it hasn't brought him the same success as that one season where he just literally cheesed every single game. Ended up getting taken down by Flash in the finals. Maybe he felt like he saw the extent of what cheese could do for him in Brood War. You realize that you're just never going to be able to beat the best of the best with the cheesy build. Someone like Flash is always going to be able to outsmart you, out macro you, if that's all you're good at. So he's decided to be more of a macro player, and looks like he's managed to get Lings out here in time. I'm not really talking about this because this is so normal in this matchup. He is going to eventually kill this Zealot, but it got like 3 kills. Not the worst, not the best either. You really do want to kill a drone if possible with that first Zealot going against the 12 hatch, but it is what it is. Shine managed to take that out, and yeah, what was I saying? I was saying that we used to call this man Bag of Builds. He used to be that guy who would cheese every single game. Doesn't matter the matchup. He had something for each and every player, and he was well thought out in those series, but he's become much more of a standard macro player. Looks like he's actually gonna do a Hydra Bust here. I would say this is actually it's kind of cheesy, but it's really not. It's more of a normal play, like a very standard move from the Zerg perspective is going for a 3 hatch Hydra play. Now, it's not as standard against the gateway opener because you're going to have these Zealots here. They buy a lot of time. And as long as you put the cannons just 1 hex back from this wall, you leave this hex empty and just put the cannons here, you're going to be fine. You can buy that time. He's going to put a cannon right at the front here. It's pretty vulnerable. But we'll see when he finds out about this incoming Hydralisk bust. Is it going to be in time? Now, he's actually going for Lings. Quite a bit of Lings here. So is this actually going to be that more new build? Oh yeah, he did go for Ling speed as well. So this is a newer build that's been popular on the ladder. kind of in 2023, and maybe Shine is the one who invented it. I don't know. This is a little bit of an older game. It would not surprise me at all if Shine is the person who invented this build. But what you're trying to do is you're revealing Ling speed here, threatening the backstab, and building up Hydralis. And generally when you see Ling speed, you're not expecting 3 Hydra because it's not generally possible. Usually it's not really possible to do both at the same time, right? Go for Ling speed and for Hydralis bust at the same time, but if you just get one of the 2 upgrades, and this time he's gone for speed, which I don't know if that's the best. I think you actually prefer, it's better to go for range, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I want to get range so that you can stand like right here and hit the cannons, and the Lings are going to body block for you. So he clears up that last Zealot. He's going to come up here to the front. He wants to block the Zealots with the Lings, and looks like he's not doing a great job of that. Only 4 Hydras are going to be able to attack here. Falling back a little bit. See, Zealots are blocking right now. Here comes the Lings. They need to body block the Zealots, and the Hydras need to run forward to shoot down the cannons, but looks like Stork has held. At least for now, with 3 cannons finishing and more Zealots popping out, he should be okay here. It's still a little bit dicey, but 7 drones. Yes, 7 drones are now in production. So yeah, this is what I was talking about, guys. You go Ling speed. You throw down the Hydralis Den. You kind of mask everything that you're doing with the Ling speed. Make sure that the probe can't get out on the map and that the Zealots aren't going to be able to do any damage. They're also afraid to move out because a Ling counterattack could come through. And then you hit with Hydras with range only. You hold the Zealots here. Like, you bring the Lings right up to the front here. You don't allow the Zealots to run out, and the Hydras come running up. They stand right in front of the wall here, and they kill all the cannons. So a bit of a mistaken, execution there from Shine, but it's okay. He's gonna get the wall still, and he's building a lot of drones behind this. So he does have a macro fallback here. He's gonna get the Forge. +1 did finish, however. Forge will go down. Do we have another Forge starting in the main? We do. Storm is upgrading right now. So I don't think we're going to have any timing where we can see Shine break through Stork here. He's just going to have to go back home, play a little bit defensively, and, really get a good defense going here. He's actually adding on a Spire. That's interesting. Get a wall in here. Get some sort of wall here as well. He's going into 6 Hatch Muta with the Spire and Lurker. Whoa, that's not what I was expecting. How can you go Lurker here and Spire? It feels like he's going in a couple of different directions at once, which I would definitely not recommend as Zerg. You need to be focused. It's not like your Protoss where you can just do everything at the same time. You really do have to focus on what you want to get out, and gas is really going to be a limiting factor here. He's got the 3rd gas going, but he can't build Lurkers and Mutalisk at the same time. He's just going to back away. Maybe the Spire is just for some Scourge to snipe an Observer. Maybe that's what he's decided, is that he's going to be able to hold back the Zealot and Templar with his Hydra for long enough that he can get some Lurkers out, and then once he's got Lurkers on the field... Do we have a Lurker at all? Okay, I think this is just the Aspect. Okay, Aspect still going. Oh, he gets the Templar. Good snipe there. Picking that off. He might have traded for 1 or 2 Hydras, but heading back into his wall, he should be able to hold from here. That's quite a lot of Zealots, but the surface area is not good. Look at how many Zealots are not fighting. Oh, he opens up that area. Now this is a lot better surface area here, but the eggs coming down at the front, this is going to block out a lot of these Zealots. Zealots not able to get the best surface area on this, but they will beat the Hydras in the end. More Hydras coming out, fighting back these Zealots, but a few Special Forces Zealots going to run into the main base here, try to target down as many drones as they can. Fighting behind enemy lines right now. They are going to die eventually. Let's see how many drones that they can get. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe a 5th one. 5 drones. Pretty decent indeed. But 42 drones have been produced. More are on the way here, so still in a decent spot right now, I would say, is Shine. He's going to take his 4th base, no problem. Lurkers are out already, and yeah, it is just for that Scourge. So look at that. Builds 4 Scourge. It's very hard to break through as the Protoss player if you've got a few Scourges. Something I need to mix into my play as well a little bit more often is going for the Lurker, quicker Lurker, and really pumping out more Scourge, because it's easy to go for Lurker, try to snipe with Hydralisks, but the Scourge are a lot quicker. They deal damage, just instantaneous damage when they connect with the Observer, kills it in 1 hit. So basically, with 2 Scourge, you can kill 2 Observers. It's very cost efficient if you can take those out, and it will defend you against kind of these big pushes that are going to break you open, right? If he's going to go for a big round of Dragoons and try to break through your Lurker, and you just snipe the 1 Observer, it buys you so much time. Even if there's a couple of Observers, if you're quick enough, you send out some Hydras as he's pushing forward, you send in an Overlord, and you snipe both Observers with 2 Scourge at the same time. You're going to sandbag that push and buy yourself critical moments to add on more Lurkers and to get, you know, Sunkens out, another round of Hydras, whatever you need to hold on against that push. So an interesting play here from Shine. We'll see how it works out. He's sending 1 army across the map. And look at this. Now that all the Corsairs are done, this is something that actually, you know, Shine is so smart. This is something I've thought about a lot, and I've identified as like a hole in a lot of Zerg players' games, which is as soon as you kill the last Corsair, your Overlord should be spread all over the map. You should have vision of every remaining base. You should have, you know, each one of these like impassable terrain areas should have an Overlord over top of it. Just as a rule of thumb, you just get that Overlord over there ASAP, and they're not going to be killed now that there's no Corsairs. So he's going to come over here, maybe kill a Dragoon or 2. Focusing down Dragoons is always awesome. Oh, forgetting a Dragoon over here. Maybe a missed hotkey there from Stork. Shine getting a bit of an edge now. You know, things weren't amazing for him a minute ago when he was losing drones in the main, but sniping a few Dragoons slows down this push a lot. He's got quite a bit of Hydras. You know, he forced the turnaround. He forced Stork to come back once, and he picks off the Observer. Look at that. Gets the Observer. Stork forced to back away now. Gonna try and take the 4th base at the 6 o'clock. Counterattack of Hydras once again, but there's enough Zealots here to stop that. Ooh, running on top of these Templar. Can he get 3rd one? No, not quite. Pretty good storms there to clean those out. These Hydras are going to be run down as well. So Stork doing a pretty decent job with the roaming army here. Everything unburrowed right now. Is he going to run forward? That would be a little surprising. Okay, he does reburrow. Next Observer is here. He's looking for some Templar snipes. He gets 1, gets 2, in fact. Gonna go for the Observer again, and the Observer's gone. Goodbye, Stork. Come back later. Observer here at the natural. Nothing Stork can do about this. He just has to keep on sending out Observers, keep on building Observers, and hope that he can break through. He started a shuttle. So this last Observer, this is it, man. If he loses this Observer, this push can never work. Well, it won't work at least until he gets this shuttle out, and then the next Observer, which is a long time away. Shuttle's just barely halfway done. Tons of Hydras popping out. Now let's take a look at the upgrades. 2-0 and 2-2 here for the Protoss. Still pretty decent upgrades for the Zerg, and he's getting into his next Carapace. A little bit worried that he's not building into Hive right now. On 4 base, Hive is pretty decent. It's kind of where you want to get to eventually. But his hatchery count is great. This is the bare minimum that you need on 4 bases as a Zerg player. And if you're a pro player, bare minimum is all you need. Gonna run right up on top of this. Gets one of those Templars flanked from the top as well. My goodness, what an engulfment here by Shine. Gonna chase down all these Dragoons as well. They're gonna run off to the side, but where are they going right now? Wow, beautiful play by Shine. I think he's gonna wipe out the dinosaur right now. Time to go extinct here. The dinosaur toss getting completely overwhelmed, and this is what I was talking about, guys. The macro play of Shine has really leveled up since his ASL finalist finish years ago when he was the... Oh, whoa. We had something going on down here. I don't think it's going to matter, though. There are way too many Hydras. I guess that drop ended up coming through, but this is so many Hydras. There's really not much that can be done here for Stork. Oh, he's going to try and run up this ramp with those Dragoons. They're all going to die. We've got maybe one storm coming through, but the natural is gone. Dead and gone here, and Shine just going to continue to push through. Not even caring about if there's storms on this. Trying to gun down some Templar from the low ground, but it's not going to work. One decent storm there, but this is kind of an unlosable position now for Shine. He did lose his Spire and his spawning pool, which is super annoying, but he can still build Hydras. He can still build Lurkers, so he's going to be okay. All the probes are going down now. One more Lurker making its way to the front. And there it is. GG. I'm going to jump into game number 2. So Shine, with the successful kind of rebranding of himself from being a solely cheese-focused player, a build-focused player, timing-focused player, he's now a macro god. I don't know if he's on par with some of these other players like Soul Key or a Hero, but... or even Action, but that was a pretty insane game. Just in terms of how many Hydras he was able to produce and how he was able to bring them to bear in that last fight. Able to completely surround that Protoss army. Mop it up like it was nothing. Very, very well done by him. And it really does seem like Shine, the old Shine that we knew and loved from that ASL season, is kind of gone, really. Maybe we'll see him again in another, big tournament in the future. Maybe he's saving his builds this time. He's playing that, he's focusing on getting his macro to a point where it's really a threat. Where if you're not careful, he can absolutely out macro you. If you're playing too defensive, if you're not being aggressive enough, he can just completely out macro you and dominate you in a normal game. But he also has some scary builds which he can pull out at a moment's notice and really throw you for a loop. That's actually what makes a championship level player, guys, is someone who not only has that scary macro, but also is willing to throw out some dirty builds. And if you're super creative, kind of like Shine is, all the better in that case. Now, a pylon coming down here. He's actually going to cannon rush this, and Shine gonna hop one drone over. He really needs to start attacking, though. This drone taking forever to begin attacking is a real problem for Shine. He's gonna hop a second drone over. The cannon has started, and the probe's actually gonna hop out. He needs to attack this. Okay, he is finally gonna attack that. More cannons going down. The probe on the left-hand side fell. He needs to hop more drones over, though. What is he doing? Oh, no. Shine making a bit of a mistake. He is gonna be able to hop some drones over now. Can see he's very well versed at doing this, but it's so hard to get something back here. Another drone gonna get up into the back, but it flips back over the pylon. No. Really painful stuff here for Shine. I don't think he's gonna be able to save this now. He loses that drone. Maybe, just maybe, he can hit this and kill that cannon, because there is that trick with the sunken colony, right? He's got some lings as well. I don't know if you can actually get back here, though. I feel like that's a complete wall. I'm not 100% sure, though. Counterattacks coming through. 2 cannons are finishing back at home. He's going to try to get this to fire. Okay. Getting it to fire a couple of times here. Going to run back there. Try to kill off this cannon. He actually needs to run forward a bit. Okay, he does get on top of that. Big win there. Big win there for Shine. He's going to be able to clear this. And with the clear on this cannon rush, Stork is in a world of hurt right now. Although there are only 8 drones. Man, I didn't get a look at that, but geez, 8 drones only. That is pretty rough. Gonna start a gas immediately. Interesting. With only 8 drones, usually you're gonna be like trying your absolute best to pump out as many drones as possible and try to get, you know, your next macro hatchery down. Try to get some way to recover economically going. But Stork back at home, he's just blocking here. He's making sure that there's not going to be any sort of Ling all-in that could finish him off here. There's not that many Lings, but I mean, it's definitely understandable. There could be a Ling all-in coming. He's going to go Lair, I think, right now. There it is. Lair started at the natural to add a little bit of HP once that's finished. Going to start this Lair. Is it going to be a Mutilus build? I think that would be a great way to follow this up. And maybe we're going to see a little bit of that old Shine come out here. Maybe he's going to have to fall back on a bit of a cheeky build. A cheeky timing or something to catch Stork off guard in order to bring him back in this game. The third base drops. So it's not just going to be 2 Hatch Muta. That we know anyway. Otherwise, he would have grabbed this gas and thrown down the Spire as soon as that was done. Is he going to go for a Spire? It looks like it. If he's going to go Lurkers, he would already have the Hydralisk Den down. So it is going to be Spire. Stargate here being spotted. Probably should head these Overlords back home. Spire on the way now. No second gas. So is this just going to be a standard macro play out of this? He just wanted to get the Spire out so that he could have Scourge? Is that what I'm looking at right now? That would be very interesting. Maybe he is just that confident in his ability to out macro Stork that he's not going to go for any sort of timing attack. He's not going to go for, you know, a Ogres or Gamer build or something, or, you know, something to try and like get a quick win or quickly seize the advantage back from Stork. Stork did spend a lot of money on cannons back here. You know, he canceled a few times. He built quite a few cannons. They were all killed. So his Stargate was slowed down a bit, but I would not be confident personally. If I was in a situation like this, I would not be confident that I could get my Spire out in time to not lose too many Overlords. Like, I would be pretty scared about that being a thing, you know? Like, imagine your Spire is just starting right now. Or your Spire is, like, halfway done. You're gonna lose, like, 2, 3, 4 Overlords because now there's 2 Corsairs coming towards your main. That could be, like, a game-losing scenario, but props to Shine. He knows the timings. Even in these crazy builds, he's gonna get his Scourge out here. Might even catch this. Nope. Turning away immediately is Stork, and he's gonna run back home with his tail in between his legs. Probably start... Oh! What? He's going for Reaver here. Interesting. Okay. The Forge is not spinning. I think that Shine's probably seen that. It's gonna be a Reaver Corsair build to follow this up. Very interesting. I think that he just saw that. Oh, yeah, I think he just saw that. Oh, getting one hit on the Corsair. Not bad, not bad. Few Zealots moving out on the map, looking for some damage. I don't think they're going to find it. Going up to 6 Hatch Hydra. And Burrow incoming. I love it. Immediate tech into Burrow here upon seeing the Reaver build. It's very, very powerful. You just need to catch the Reavers one time. especially before they get any damage done. If the Reavers aren't able to get any damage done, you just pop out and kill the shuttle. Man, you are just light years ahead at that point. These Zealots are going to get picked off without doing any damage, just killing a couple of Lings. Going for a drone here. He does get one, but as you can see, drone count looking very healthy. 38 drones. Armor, and we've also got Mutalisk on the way. Interesting choices here. You know there's going to be a lot of Corsairs, like a lot of Corsairs. We got 6 here, but he... Oh, and he has +1, almost done. So 6 Corsairs with +1. Pretty hard to fight Mutalisk with that, or fight with Mutalisk. Fight that with Mutalisk. God, I can't even talk right now. Burrow. I think he just saw that burrow. He's gonna have all these Mutalisks come together and take this fight. I think he's gonna fight with the Mutas and try to hit this with the Scourge. Oh, big mistake there. He does need to hit this. Oh man. Losing a lot of these Mutas pretty quickly, and the Scourge not gonna connect on the shuttle. I really thought he was gonna right click down the shuttle with the Scourge while these were all fighting, but more Scourge is gonna pop out. He will be able to clear this eventually. And with the Mutas still left remaining, 3 Mutas, not a lot, but he will pick that off. Very nicely done. A good hold here by Shine. I mean, this is not what I was expecting at all, but it seemed to work pretty well. I really thought at that engagement point, he was going to fly in with the Mutas and immediately target all the Scourge onto the shuttle. But I guess what his plan was to get rid of the Corsairs and then kill the Reaver with the Mutas, which also does make a lot of sense. He did lose a few drones, but that was absolutely worth it there for Shine. This takes a ton of wind out of the sails right now for Stork, who's desperately trying to get into a Templar Archives now. He's gone double Stargate behind this as well. How can he afford all this stuff right now? He's got 1 Reaver. He's got 1 Reaver, 2 Stargate Corsair. I mean, he's going to be building Templar, Reaver, and Corsair. Are you serious? I don't think that's going to be, I don't think that's going to be very good. Possible? I mean, he's got to cut corners somewhere. Unless, Protoss really can truly do everything that they want all at the same time. I don't think that's the case, though. Max Hydra coming out right now, just full Hydra production. So I think he's actually really thrown Stork off now. He does not need double Stargate Corsair. That is not going to be good for him. Plenty of Mutas coming across the map. But this is not, I don't think, the force that Stork was expecting. You know, just 4 Mutas. He had 3 at the end of that last fight, right? He built like a 4th one. That's it. And then straight into Hydralisk. So having 8 Corsairs or 10 Corsairs or whatever he's about to have, that's not going to be very good against Mass Hydra. Of course, the Reavers are going to make up a lot of that deficit, but he's trying to go into Storm right now. He's only got 1 Reaver. These Hydras are going to come in. He actually needs this Reaver to get an amazing connection. That's a pretty good one to start things off. Cannon does go down, though. And pull this Reaver over towards the 3rd. Get that... oh my god, this Reaver just heading out on his own. Scouting Reaver here. Going up to try and find these Hydras. Hydras coming in. Backing away, though, as the Reaver arrives. Nexus going to be started. Corsairs coming across the map now. They're going to look for a few Overlords that they can pick off. It sounded like a Scourge connected on those Corsairs as well, so lowering that count a little bit already. Got plenty of burrowed Lings around. Just checking to make sure that Stork isn't taking a base unnoticed. Good Reaver shot there, but Hydra's coming in from multiple angles. Oh, he just barely saves that Reaver. Oh, he picks it up, though. Why did he decide to pick up that Reaver there? It ends up dying in this shuttle. If it had just sat right there, it would have had a much better chance of holding off this attack, but it's too much. Great macro, great decision making overall from Shine, able to take out Stork. The dinosaur toss, the man who's been kind of a mythical player throughout the ages, but Shine, a little bit mythical himself, actually. Having a great story and a great arc of being, you know, one of those cheesy players who always brings out the wacky builds. Now a macro genius. Looking forward to seeing more from him in the future. Guys, thank you so much for watching me. This has been your daily dose of Broodwar, and I'll see you tomorrow.